Welcome to the Naturalist Podcast. I have a really special guest today. Kenna, hello, welcome. Have you been on the podcast before?
First time.
First time. I love a first timer. Oh, well, and of course, we've been having so many Newtopia Now conversations, and you have all the dirt, all the goods, all the good stuff on Newtopia to share. So I can't wait for you to give everyone an amazing overview of what we have coming up for conference programming. But before we jump into that, I want to give a big thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, sponsors. We love you very much and appreciate you. And our sponsors are Zigo and Nusante. So thanks so much.
This episode is brought to you by Newbies. If you've got a picky eater, this one's for you. We didn't set out to build a brand. We set out to solve snacking for our family and friends. So Newbies had to be the best. Real nutrition and real convenience in a little 125 milliliter pouch made for small hands and lunchboxes, with flavors picky eaters actually finish. And Newbies Plus, for all of us big kids, is now plant-based. Made for our family and yours and ready for your shelf. Learn more at nusante.com. That's Nusante with a G.
Welcome, everyone, back to the podcast. As you know, we cover all things CPG, natural and organic product industry, and we have a big event coming up, our Newtopia Now event. And Kenna's been working hard, pulling together so many great speakers and all this awesome content that you will see in Denver in August. So it's right around the corner. How are you feeling, Kenna? The excitement is building.
I know. I am excited and anxious, but I think it's going to be great. It's obviously our third year of Newtopia Now. And I'm just excited to, see some previous attendees, new attendees. I can't wait.
I can't wait too. And you're excited and anxious for Newtopia. And if you don't want to talk about this on the podcast, you don't have to, but you're also planning a wedding, correct? So that's probably exciting and anxiety inducing as well.
Exactly. Yes. For anyone who does not know, not only am I planning Newtopia, I do have a wedding coming up in a few months. So some of my guests at my wedding might see some Newtopia Now themes going on because I keep confusing the two.
I love that. Well, I can't think of a better person to plan their own wedding than you. You're such an event person. Oh my gosh, I wish that. Well, I didn't really have I just went to the courthouse. So, I eliminated all of those stressors, but I missed out on the big wedding. So, all right. So let's talk Newtopia. We are in our third year. It seems like just yesterday that we were launching this show in Denver. We are back in Denver for year 3 at the Colorado Convention Center. Oh, it's so beautiful there. I can't wait to be back. And we have amazing companies that are coming. We just got the latest numbers. We have over 400 companies that will be exhibiting at Newtopia. One of the things that I love so much about this event is that I just see so many companies for the first time, and the innovation is so strong there. And I love seeing how retailers are engaging with all of these new brands. And really the discovery is just so profound. And I've talked to retailers following the event, investors following the event who have maintained these relationships, whether they've actually brought the products and companies in store and put them on shelves, or they just continue to nurture and work with these companies on their journey. So it's really, really cool to see the relationship building and the discovery that happens at this event. I think that's my favorite thing. And then, of course, the content, which we'll talk all about. But Kenna, what's your favorite thing about Newtopia?
I think I love what it represents. I mean, I also love the colors and just the theme of overall Newtopia. It's really fresh and it's really fun. But it just truly is like a testament to these emerging brands. I feel like hear the same things. They really want to get in front of the buyers, and also just having more intimate conversations. And Newtopia is really built around those experiences, and whether that's on the show floor or off the show floor, we really make sure that they're able to leave with new connections and new ideas and feel ready to keep going after the event.
So beautifully stated, Kenna. I could not agree more. And yeah, it's really fun to be able to watch these companies on their journey. So we will have an upcoming episode where we'll talk all products and trends, and can't wait for Adrienne to get back because she loves talking all things Newtopia, because we also choose some Nexty finalists at the event. So there will be a lot of trends and product coverage. But today, let's talk about the content. So Kenna, you've been deep in this work. You were like doing amazing stuff. I was out for a few months. I come back. I see all of these speakers that we've confirmed. We have such a packed and awesome agenda. And I think what strikes me about this year's agenda more than anything is just how relevant it is. We're really looking at who's going to be there, who our attendees are, who our exhibitors are, and making sure that we're crafting the content to meet their needs. So it's super high value in the moment, here and now, what you need to know, but also what to know to plan for the future. So tell me a little bit about kind of the overarching theme and some of the things that we'll see throughout the stages, and then we can get a little bit more specific.
Yeah, I would love to. And so for those who may be new to Newtopia Now, it's really more than just a trade show like Jessica and I were just talking about. It really is a curated community and a marketplace that brings together the emerging brands, retailers, investors, and industry leaders to explore what's next across food, beverage, wellness, beauty, sustainability, all the fun things. And the event itself is organized around 3 neighborhoods that reflect some of the most influential forces that are driving the innovation today. And those are Thrive, Regenerate, and Glow. Thrive really explores the future of nutrition, functional products, consumer health, really examining how brands are responding to evolving wellness priorities and changing those expectations around performance, prevention, and everyday well-being. And then we have Regenerate, which focuses on sustainability, environmental responsibility, and purpose-driven businesses. This neighborhood really highlights how brands and retailers are navigating consumer demand for transparency while creating meaningful impact across their supply chains. And lastly, we have Glow, which centers on beauty, personal care, skincare, self-care, exploring the growing intersection of wellness and identity and consumer behaviors as shoppers really redefine what health and confidence looks like. So with all of that, attendees will find that the programming is really designed to move beyond the trend headlines and into practical conversations shaping the next generation of brands and products and retail strategies. So this year's programming is really focused on the future of consumer products and what it takes to build brands that endure. Across Thrive, Regenerate, and Glow, we're really examining how consumer expectations, retail strategies, wellness trends, and sustainability priorities are evolving and what those shifts mean for brands looking to grow. And I would say that the common thread throughout the agenda is helping attendees understand the forces shaping the market, connecting with people driving change, and also leaving with actionable insights that they can use to build stronger, more resilient businesses.
You might have seen Zico and CEO Colleen Cavanaugh at Expo West or Newtopia Now, on the show floor or on stage talking about regenerative agriculture and specialty grain supply chains. If you haven't met them yet, let me introduce you. Zico makes delicious organic oats, muesli, and superfood oatmeal, gluten-free, food allergy-friendly, regeneratively grown, and made right here in the U.S., and glyphosate-free. And they back this up. Scan the QR code on any Zico package, and you'll see their latest third-party test results for pesticide residues, heavy metals like lead, and gluten. You can find Zico at natural food stores near you, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, Lassen's, Jimbo's, Erewhon, and Mom's Organic Market, or at zicofoods.com. And there's a special offer for the Naturalist listeners. Use code PODCAST for 10% off your next purchase.
Well, Kenna, I love that. And I do want to pause too on something and linger on something that you said, which is what it means to be a brand that endures, that really has longevity in this industry. And that's, of course, something that we're looking at across all of our content and our work at Newtopia and Expo West, that life cycle of a brand. And I think some of the things that I'm seeing right now are really rooted in the concept of Newtopia that you so beautifully really articulated, which is relationship building, that really taking the time to nurture the right relationships, find the right partnerships to ensure that you become profitable and to have that more measured growth, I think is really important right now. Innovation, certainly important, how you differentiate yourself in the marketplace, and then how you find the right people, companies, partners to reinforce and support your differentiators. Well, let's talk specifically about some of the speakers that we have. I do want to focus on the buyers, because something that we have at Newtopia that's really unique to Newtopia is our buyer side chat series. So anyone who is at the event can pop by the different stages and not only be able to connect with buyers on the show floor or through our one-on-one meetings, but also really get the inside scoop from those buyers, from the stages. And I found that the retailers that are on our stages at Newtopia, they're sharing completely new insights about what it takes to get into their store. And that is so valuable to brands. So let's talk about some of those retailers that will be there this year.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, going back off what you just said, one of, I think, the most valuable aspects of Newtopia Now programming is the opportunity to hear directly from the retailers that are shaping what the consumers discover, purchase, and trust. And for many brands, I think understanding retail is one of the biggest barriers to growth. So these buyer side chats are designed to clarify that process by giving attendees direct access to the people that are making decisions about what reaches the shelf and what ultimately earns consumer attention. And rather than focusing solely on product requirements, these conversations also explore the broader shifts influencing retail strategy today, including changing consumer expectations, new approaches to product discovery, the growing importance of curation, and the increasing demand for brands that can demonstrate both innovation and staying power. So across conversations, you'll hear from leaders from Whole Foods, Fresh Market, Ulta Beauty, Misfits Market, and Infra. The attendees will gain insights into how these retailers are adapting to a rapidly changing marketplace and what that means for brands looking to grow. And I think these discussions are also really valuable because each retailer kind of represents a different lens of the future of commerce. So from wellness expansion at Ulta Beauty, and then the importance of regional and independent retail through Infra. And you have Whole Foods' role in identifying emerging trends, and Misfits, their focus on curated discovery. So attendees will gain kind of a more nuanced understanding of different retail models and how those are evolving and where opportunities are emerging. And two, I think, lastly, I'll just touch on that most importantly, these sessions are really designed to translate retailer thinking into the actionable takeaways. So attendees will hopefully leave with a clearer understanding of how to position their brands, where retailers see those unmet consumer needs, and what separates products that generate initial interest from brands that build those lasting partnerships.
Thanks, Kenna. That was a great overview. And I could not agree more that the range of retailers that we see not only showing up at Newtopia, but showing up on the stages and being willing to have these conversations is really impressive, and just speaks to this omni-channel world that we're living in, where consumers are shopping at all different types of retailers, and therefore brands are building omni-channel strategies that make sense for them. And I think the really cool thing about where we are right now is all different types of retailers, all different sizes of retailers really are looking for new. They're looking for young brands and innovation and what's next, because they know that those companies are often the closest to consumers and where consumers are heading. We see a lot of brands that have maybe launched online with a direct to consumer model, learned a ton about their customer, and now are trying to get into retail. So retailers can also be learning from these brands, and it's really a mutually beneficial relationship that's being established there. So, so cool. And you touched on Ulta Beauty. I'm particularly excited about them because they will have a strong strong presence at the event on the glow stage, and then also one of the judges of our beauty and wellness pitch. And many of you, some of you have maybe seen, the work that Ulta's doing to really expand its wellness department and really pilot some new ideas. Their team is so innovative and really connected with this idea of connecting wellness and nutrition and beauty. And so to have a retailer that's leading the charge coming to Newtopia to find that next generation of great beauty and wellness brands is so great. So all amazing retailers across the board. Kenna, let's talk a little bit about some of the keynotes that we have, because we have 1, 2, 3 keynotes. Is that right? What if you could discover the next big thing in natural products before it hits mainstream? Imagine being the buyer who took a chance on poppy, or the distributor who took a chance on Siete Foods before they were, well, everywhere. That's exactly what Newtopia Now offers. Newtopia Now is the conscious products event where breakthrough discoveries happen. Registration is open now, so head to newtopianow.com to secure your spot. The people shaping the industry are going to be in that room, so why not be one of them? Register today and we'll see you in Denver, August 18th through 20th, 2026. Yes, this year, coming right up.
Yes, we have 3 keynotes for the show, and I'm so excited about every single one of them. And these keynotes are really designed to explore those larger forces shaping the future of the consumer products industry and the leadership lessons required to kind of navigate those. And I think it's especially important when, we're at a time when those consumer demands consumers are demanding greater authenticity, which I think is kind of a funny tie-in with so much of the innovation we're seeing. And I can talk about this later, but with all of the innovation we're seeing in the brands, it's how can they also stay authentic to who they truly are as a brand? But in other ways, consumers are also demanding, retailers are becoming more selective, and competition is also intensifying across every category. So these conversations really focus on what it takes to build brands that thrive. And while each speaker brings kind of a distinct perspective, together they do explore the intersection of innovation, resilience, consumer trust, and really that long-term growth, offering those attendee insights that extend kind of beyond any single market or category trend. So our Thrive keynote is Giada De Laurentiis, who you probably all know from Food Network. And Giada will kind of be giving a case study, translating her personal credibility into business success. So through the lens of Giadzi, which is her pasta brand, she will explore how founders can stay true to their vision while scaling, and why brand trust, product integrity, and meaningful storytelling really remains a critical differentiator in a crowded market.
I'm so excited because I've always loved her, and it's cool to see how she's turned her personality and her, presence through the Food Network into this really beautiful brand that kind of captures a lot of the essence of entrepreneurship and sustainable living and delicious food and all of the things that get us excited. Keynote number 2, Kenna, who is it?
Yes, our Glow keynote is going to be Gabrielle Reese. She is amazing. Also so excited for her. And I think what's exciting just with all 3 of our keynotes, they're all just very strong female leaders. And so I think that's just so amazing for all of us to get to see on stage. Back to Gabby. And a business environment that I feel like often rewards that constant acceleration, Gabby's perspective really offers a timely counterpoint. As those conversations around wellness continue to evolve beyond physical health to include longevity and resilience and sustainable performance, she'll really examine why self-awareness and recovery has become kind of a strategic advantage. So attendees will leave with a deeper understanding of how personal well-being influences leadership, decision-making, and long-term success.
I don't know why, but I'm like tearing up with that description. I think it just really speaks to me right now. And I think it's really important that people are grounded in like what wellness really can and I believe should mean, right? Like there's so many different parts of this wellness conversation and there's no judgment on any of it, but sometimes it can feel like aspects are a little superficial or don't like dig deeper into the true outcomes that people are seeking, which I think is to like just live more well-rounded, purposeful lives and to be able to show up how you want to show up in life, in work, the people around you. And so that really holistic view on the future of wellness is so important. And of course, I love that we have three incredibly powerful, insightful women that we'll be bringing to the stages. So amazing. Third keynote, Kenna, who is it?
Finally, our Regenerate keynote is Dee Charlemagne. And I feel like what's really special about having her join us at Newtopia is that I feel like few leaders really understand both sides of the retail equation as well as Dee does, bringing experience as both a founder and now as a retail executive. She's also the senior director of emerging brands at Walmart. She'll provide a unique perspective on how brands can succeed. And again, that increasingly complex marketplace and as consumer expectations around purpose and transparency and innovation continue to evolve, Dee will really help attendees better understand what drives retailer decision-making, where growth opportunities exist, and how emerging brands can position themselves for meaningful and sustainable growth.
Natural Foods Merchandiser has been the trusted way to reach retail decision makers in the $300 billion plus natural products industry for nearly 5 decades. Our readers don't just browse. 92% turn to NFM to discover new products and trends. 82% engage with our content weekly or more, and 78% interact across multiple platforms. With 15,000 print and 50,000 digital subscribers, including category managers, buyers, store owners, wholesalers, and distributors, NFM is the daily resource that shapes purchasing decisions and drives industry growth. Subscribe today, or to be included in the magazine, email newbusiness@newhope.com. And this is really one of the first times, I believe, that we've brought Walmart to the stage, definitely at Newtopia, but just at our events in a way that really where they're going to speak to their perspective on emerging brands and the work that they're doing there. So this is really a first time thing for us. So I can't wait to hear what she has to say. And that's going to be such a great keynote edition. And again, like so much retail here, which is really great. Another thing that we're doing through our programming outside of all of our great fireside chats and our keynotes are our trend snapshots. Now, for those who follow our content across Newtopia and Expo West and newhope.com, Natural Foods Merchandiser, NBJ, all the things that we produce, you know that one of the aspects that I believe really sets us apart is how we cover market trends and opportunities through real data that we're seeing through the products that are coming through our events, through our market sizing on all different categories, and then pairing that with the insights from our incredible content team that brings years and years of experience. So we wanted to make sure that we could bring that to the stage because that's a really important final piece of this puzzle that we're talking about around this retail readiness and understanding what it takes to succeed as a brand. A piece of that is understanding the market, what's happening. Hopefully, any company that's launching understands what their consumers are looking for, but also understanding the forces that are shaping the market, the growth categories, and the trends. So we have trend snapshots that we're bringing to each of the stages. Kenna, you and I were getting really excited about this earlier in the year when we were talking through what it could look like. So how are those shaping up and why is that something different for this year? How is it different for this year at Newtopia?
In today's market, I think businesses are just kind of inundated with information. The challenge is really no longer finding trends. It's really determining which trends represent the meaningful shifts in consumer behavior and which are simply noise. And that's really the purpose of these. And these sessions are really designed to help our attendees move beyond headlines and really better understand the data and the behaviors and the market dynamics driving category growth. And by combining research, even more retail perspectives, and real world examples, these trend snapshots really provide context around what is changing, why it matters, and where future opportunities may lie. And I can kind of touch a little bit on which stage is going to talk about what. So in Regenerate, discussions are really around obviously organic and regenerative products. And so this will explore one of the most significant shifts occurring at the intersection of consumer demand and environmental stewardship. As shoppers increasingly consider how products are sourced or produced, brands kind of have new opportunities to differentiate themselves, but also new challenges in communicating value and navigating certification. So this session will really help attendees understand where momentum is accelerating and how brands can participate meaningfully in the category's growth.
Thanks, Kenna. Yeah, and I think the pillars of that, right? Like understanding the market opportunity, understanding the retail response and activations, and ultimately the consumer piece of it. We're hoping to bring that all together through these snapshots, and we will have content supporting each of these areas that we'll be rolling out on newhope.com through our newsletters and to our NFM subscribers. So much great stuff. We can't possibly talk about all of it, but you did an incredible job, Kenna, of breaking it down. There are 3 other things that we quickly wanted to mention. One is our beauty and wellness pitch. That's coming back for the 3rd year. And that is really related to our Glow neighborhood and Glow initiatives to celebrate all of the companies that are doing great things in this category. So we will be bringing that back. We also have a Nutrition Capital Network Investor Pitch Day on the first day of the event, where we'll have emerging companies pitching to a room full of investors. So we're bringing that NCN component to Newtopia for the first time. And of course, we have our Women in CPG luncheon, which is back. One of my favorites. The energy there is absolutely unparalleled, and it's an excellent way to bring together both established and emerging leaders in this industry that just want to connect with other women and allies who are there to support, provide resources, and help them thrive as leaders and industry professionals and people who are doing great work in CPG. If you have not yet registered for Newtopia Now, do it today. You get access to this content only there at the event, and certainly access to the 400 awesome companies that are going to be exhibiting and more signing up every day. And I believe it's like, what percentage? This is just in, hot off the presses. What percentage of these companies are new this year? 61% are new to Newtopia. So I know that we will have attendees that are coming for their 3rd year. You will see more than half of these companies are brand new to the event and likely brand new to the market. So it truly is the place to come see innovation, to connect with brands. If you are a brand and you are interested in exhibiting, also reach out. And we just can't wait to see you and see all these relationships that will flourish at the event. So Kenna, thank you. Good luck with the rest of planning, and good luck with the wedding planning. And we'll keep our viewers and listeners posted on that. You'll get to see some highlights from Kenna's wedding in a few months. Thank you, Kenna. It was a lot of fun having you on.
Thank you so much.